Well, we told you it would be a crazy President's Day, and it is delivering. I am the president of content today, that's for sure. I am your king of content. And let's get into it. Justin Baldoni in the news. Here we have a new update right now happening. This is breaking news. Citizen journalist doing the Lord's work here on Twitter shares Brandon Sklenar speaks. That's right. He played Atlas. Speaking of MapQuest, he played Atlas in the movie It Ends With Us. Have you heard of it? Watch what he says about the Baldoni vs. Lively saga while promoting 1923 on CBS. 1923, not just the year Joe Biden was born. Okay, come on, I'm kidding. 1923. The great show, the prequel to Yellowstone. He's in it, and of course, his career is really taken off. He is with WME, and I'm going to share what he's now saying, and then I'm going to share what he said about this whole scenario just a few months ago. And by the way, people are allowed to change their minds as they continue to get new information. Here's the clip. Again, thank you to Citizen Journalists for being so on top of this.
You're also, the last time you were talking about the movie It Ends With Us, which has turned into a big major story between Blake and Justin.
You don't say.
I'm wondering what you're thinking about that, processing it, navigating it. It doesn't involve you, but because you're in the cast, I'm wondering what you're thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I just want people to remember why we made the movie in the first place and what it stands for, and
but are you Team Baldoni or Team Lively? Like you could, okay, after they say all this, I will be judging these morning hosts based on if they push back at all, which I don't think they will.
keeping the focus on that. Like that movie meant so much to me, and I have someone very, very close to me in my life who's gone through what Lily's going through for a long time, and I've been on the front lines helping her navigate that space. So that movie meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
And it means a lot to her, this person in my life, and it was one of the reasons that me doing that film gave her the strength to change her life.
We call this the filibuster. Yes, we understand that, and respectfully, are you Team Baldoni or Team Lively?
So like,
You stay focused on that.
yeah, it means a lot to me. So it's unfortunate that things get taken away from what the ethos of that thing is, and it gets.
And I guess the question is, who took the things away? If Blake Lively's accusations are true, then Justin Baldoni took them away. If they're false, then she took them away, and that's what they're working out in the court system. Public opinion, 90+% is on Baldoni's side, but evidence could change things as he'll be subpoenaed. I don't think things will change, but we have to be open that they may.
Convoluted, and I just want to remind people of why that thing
I get
exists in the
that.
first place.
I would imagine at this point you're Bennett. You said I'm not in it, but are you Team Blake or Team Justin?
Thank you for asking the question. I mean, you know that you know that their producers are in their ears. Ask the question, and he's like, well, he speaks for 7 minutes about things. He's very articulate, and they're like, so Team Blake or Team Justin? He laughed.
He said, I don't speak English, Gail.
I'm team It Ends With Us.
And he's Team Taylor and
Yes, and
Paramount
he's Team
Plus.
Taylor.
Yeah.
Got a little nick on his knuckle there.
No. Congratulations. I didn't expect you to. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah.
But we're glad you're here and continue.
He's like, yeah, Gail, yeah.
Trained in martial arts.
That's real funny.
Yeah, Gail, you got jokes. Yeah. Thank you, Brendan.
Brandon Sklenar.
Oh, so awkward. I love morning TV. I just love morning TV. So awkward. But hey, what are you going to not ask? That's what you get paid the big bucks for there, Gail. You got to ask these questions. And as you guys know, no surprise that he signed with WME. But again, this was back September of 2023. It is a tough position to be in. I mean, imagine, just because you starred opposite Blake Lively doesn't mean you're close to them. He shoots the movie. Here's the most grace I can give Brandon Sklenar. He shoots the movie. Afterwards, he sees the New York Times article that Justin's a bad guy. His check already cashed for the movie. At this point, none of the cast has followed Justin, and they're kind of like, there are already all these rumors. But, Do you do your due diligence? Do you believe Blake Lively again initially and just assume, why the hell would she lie? This is creepy. And then Blake's maybe saying, oh yeah, he did it to Isabel, and oh yeah, Jenny Slate's got a story, and it all adds up. He's a weirdo, blah blah blah. Or, I mean, look, if Brandon Sklenar is buddies with Justin Baldoni, you would hope that he would ask him for the truth. But I'm not surprised if he doesn't. And he goes, you know what? Boy, I'm going to be on Team Blake Lively. And that's what initially happened. Obviously, he's changing his tune. This is Christmas Eve's Eve. It ends with us. Star Brandon Sklenar posts Blake Lively complaint against Justin Baldoni. For the love of God, read this. So he supported co-star Blake Lively after she accused fellow actor, director Justin of sexual harassment and a smear campaign. For the love of God, read this, Sklenar wrote on his Instagram story on Wednesday while posting Lively's complaint against Baldoni in Wayfarer Studios. Sklenar played Atlas Corrigan, the childhood sweetheart of Lively's character in It Ends With Us. Sklenar tagged her with a heart emoji on Instagram. So he was sharing the propaganda piece that went down on New York Times. We know it was a propaganda piece because there were, at the very least, even if Blake Lively turns out to have the smoking gun evidence that shows she was harassed, even if that all goes down, it was still a propaganda piece because New York Times spent months researching this, didn't contact Justin Baldoni till the last 9 hours, and also redacted critical text messages, emojis, and things like that, which is why they are on the receiving end of a $250 million, with a capital B, billion-dollar lawsuit from Justin Baldoni. So he says, for the love of God, read this. He was part of this sort of spreading of this story, but by all means, the story was already big. I'm sure he was receiving pressure from people to say, like, what side are you going to pick? And it says here, and again, this did not age well, he's the latest star to support Lively publicly, joining It Ends With Us author Colleen Hoover, Lively's Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants cast members, Amber Heard, director Paul Feig, and more. Listen, whether you're Amber Heard or Paul Feig or the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, they weren't personally on set. Brandon was on set, and of course, acted opposite of Justin Baldoni, was directed by Justin Baldoni. As we've seen, the Colleen Hoover stuff has not aged well, as she deleted her Instagram, brought it back, but when she brought it back, it was without critical information siding with her team. So again, wild breaking update here posted by Citizen Journalist. This is one of the first people on the inner circle that's been asked about this. We saw Ryan Reynolds made light of it on SNL last night. We saw, made light of the whole scenario, which again, if Blake Lively was really considering herself harassed, would she let her husband joke about that? Maybe, there's different types of humor. Maybe a little gallows humor is what they it's part of their coping, or, they're just not taking it too seriously. So, commenter said he may have read Justin's lawsuit, so he doesn't know how things will evolve. I say that for argument's sake, but you get the point. Plus, he is also represented by WME. His only choice now is to stay neutral. People won't forget his initial reaction, though. 50% backtrack is not enough. Listen, I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people that says, no, you said this. The grace I offer is the door is open if you decide to change your opinion. I mean, he, like most people, had a strong opinion following the New York Times article. You read the receipts. It was pretty damning. So no surprises that he goes, geez, look at this complaint. This looks really bad. There's legal words that are above your pay grade. No surprises whatsoever. Now, will he get to a point where he goes, yeah, geez, I talked to Justin and I'm feeling like something's fishy. I don't think that'll happen. His position at WME, he could get, Ryan Reynolds still has that power that could take his career and kind of quash it, to use legal terms. So I wouldn't envy being in his position, although I do like when people have a backbone and a spine. But again, no surprises. He's going to wait to see how this all plays out. Let me know what you think. I got more content coming your way. It is just a nonstop Monday. Presidential power indeed. I've got a bunch of executive level videos for you. If you haven't already joined the podcast community on Audio Forum, scan that QR code and it'll let you listen to the podcast. That's coming out next. We have a story about the editor supporting Justin Baldoni. Baldoni. So the tides are turning in a lot of public ways for Baldoni's support. All this on the heels of what tomorrow could bring is bombshell news, as I guess we're expecting new court documents. All right, all that and more coming up next. So subscribe to the Rush Hour, and we'll have that for you. Bye.